phone number is 1-800-LOVE-191. Coming in tonight, on his way. I guess he got lost and something of that nature, trying to get here, is Mike Starr. Mike was, of course, with us on Celebrity Rehab 3. He is the original bassist from Alice in Chains. Slash is his good buddy. They started the band together. And that relationship... Oh, I beg your pardon. What did I say, Slash?
Oh, you're talking about Layne Staley?
Layne. I beg your Layne and he were... I was back to Celebrity Rehab 2, where I was thinking about my buddy... Stephen Adler.
Whose buddies with Slash.
Who was also motivated to get sober by Slash. But no, yes, this was his buddy was Layne Staley, who died of heroin addiction. This coming episode, in fact, you'll see Layne Staley's mom give one of the most touching testimonials I've ever seen about the disease of addiction, and I hope it comes across the way we experience it there personally. And that relationship left a deep mark on old Mike, and we'll hear about it tonight. But Mike, in spite of having the most awful withdrawal we've ever documented on the show, is doing fantastic. I saw him last night, and I cannot wait to get him up on the radio show and let him speak for himself. He's doing amazing.
I would think that a really tough withdrawal would be better, right?
Because
people not wanting to go back.
You know, the problem with the kinds of withdrawal that Mike was going through is it's almost impossible to get through it. It's so grueling and so intense and so sort of inhuman what you have to go through that people just don't make it. They just kind of slip back because it comes and goes, and each time it comes back, you think, oh my God, I can't make it. I can't go through this again. You make it, and then it comes back again. It's just so awful. And somewhere in there, which I haven't really heard the story yet of where he hit that moment of clarity that really pushed him through. But he is, you won't believe how great he looks. He looks fantastic.
Do you think it was when he was about to attack the cameraman?
No. It was after treatment, because we kept working with him after the television show, and he was in Sober House. You'll see what happened in Sober House. He continues to have horrible withdrawal in Sober House. He and Jennifer Jimenez get into a big fight, a bad fight over his withdrawal, and Jennifer doesn't really understand that he's in withdrawal, and it's just a mess. In any event, he does find a way to sobriety. He has a new band that he's going to come and tell us about, and maybe we'll hear even some music from it. They bring some CD in here. I knew my buddy Mike Starr was coming in here any minute. I wanted to tread water until he did. April, go get that Gardasil vaccine, and then take the antiviral medicines for herpes if you need to. Don't worry about it causing you long-term harm. Okay?
Okay.
Got it? You understand? Get the vaccine against the HPV, so you don't have to worry about that too. Mike Starr.
DP's in the house.
Don't worry, buddy.
Drew Pinsky, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, Anderson, look at this man. Can you even recognize him as the same guy?
You do look quite a bit better.
Hey, thanks a lot, man.
It sounds better, too.
He sounds better. He looks better. Last night we ran into each other at an event at Pasadena Recovery Center. How was that?
Did a little panel.
How was it?
That was great. First time I ever did that.
Fun?
I really, I was nervous at first, but I believe that I came off okay.
I'm sure you did. Now, again, we're going to talk shop here a couple minutes, Anderson, so cool.
This is not too boring. This is the first time I've ever seen Mike awake.
Not vomiting?
Not vomiting, not just with tired eyes or sunglasses on. Like, what the hell?
You can't prove that.
So Mike is an inspiration to me. I mean, let's kind of back up a few minutes.
Sure.
All right, Mike, original member of Alice in Chains.
Okay.
How did that start?
How did the band start?
Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to be a musician all my life. When I was 12, I walked into a friend of mine's house. In the 4th grade, I sat next to a guy who was a drummer, and I went over to his house after school. And he had his drum set up, and his older brother was a bass player. Next door neighbor was a guitar player. They had Turbulence on the drum thing, and they had all the best looking girls at the school sitting around watching them.
And you're 9 years old.
No, I'm like, yeah, I'm in 4th grade, right?
Maybe 8 years old.
Yeah, something like that. And I said, that's what I'm going to do for a living.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do.
Interesting.
And that's what I did. I was in a few other bands before Alice in Chains, and
then you and Layne hooked up somewhere.
Actually, me and my drummer Sean were in a band when we were 12.
Huh.
We got kicked out for being 12 because the rest of the guys were 16, and
nice.
And they had me call him and tell him, yeah, Sean, we're kicked out.
Great.
But we saw each other again when we were 18 at the mall, and he moved into my house, and we just became best friends. And one day, Sean ran into Jerry at Alki Beach. Yeah, Jerry Cantrell at Alki Beach. And Jerry said, we're getting Mike Starr, because I'd kind of been a little locally famous from playing in bands and winning the Battle of the Bands.
In Seattle.
Being on the Best of the Northwest album with a glam band kind of thing, which I'm a little embarrassed to say that. But
we'll tell you where I can find that.
But then, so he said, hey, I know Mike Starr. This is his sister right here, because he was going out with my sister. I'll get him right now. They came and got me that day. And I went up there that night.
Jerry was going out with your sister?
No, Sean was going out with my
Sean was
sister,
going
and
with
Jerry
sister.
said, we're going to get Mike Starr in the band. He said,
Got
you don't
it.
even know Mike Starr. What are you doing? This is his sister. I'll get him right now. Came and got me. That night we went up, and from then on, we just clicked right away.
Nice.
And from then on, our first gig was 3 weeks later.
And one thing I was saying before you got up here is that to try to recoup your relationship with music was a big part of your motivation to get well, yes?
Yeah, well, that's my passion, you know.
Yeah. And you have a new band?
I have a new band. I have a couple bands. I'm playing with Whitey, the guitar player for Iggy Pop. Me and him went in the studio, and we just laid down about 11 tracks in one day. And so that was really fun. He's a great guy. I got to say, hey, Whitey, how you doing, man? I love you. Whitey cursed. And so we got that little project going. And I got another project going. We don't really have a name for the band yet.
Oops, somebody's got a phone ringing. Anything we can hear tonight? Has anybody got any records or anything?
I wish there was. Dr. Drew. We just haven't got anything.
Is there a website they can go to? Or
Denny,
You know,
what is
we don't have a mix here. We might have some track mix. We just did a track in the studio.
We
All right,
just did a track with a couple of the guys. The guy from Slipknot.
That's very cool.
Yeah, the guy from
They're friends of
Slipknot.
ours.
And, we did a track. We did
Corey?
a Sonic Youth song. We did a Sonic Youth cover tune. Can we?
Well,
get
let's,
that, or-
during the commercial break, we'll figure out a
We
website.
can talk about
that we
all
can
this
send
stuff.
out.
Maybe
Yeah.
we can get play
We'll
something.
figure something out. And then in this week's, I was telling them also in this week's Celebrity Rehab, Layne Staley's mom shows up, and we have that very emotional time
is
with
that
her.
this week?
I think it's this week. It's
Okay.
maybe next week, but I think it's this week.
That was so nice of you guys to fly her down.
Oh, Nancy, she's such this amazing woman,
Yeah.
right?
Well, my best friend's mother. I mean, I love her.
Oh, all right, let's take some calls. One other thing before we go to calls. Jerry was not saying the kindest things about Celebrity Rehab. Have you talked to him at all?
I have not. No.
He should be happy for you, regardless of what his feelings about the whole thing is.
Right. Well,
I hope.
Let's be bigger than that, and let's just never say anything bad about anybody.
I'm with you on that, Mike.
Yeah.
I love that idea. All right, we're going to go to calls. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, the phone number is 1-800-LOVE-191. This is Jason. You're 16. You're on Mike Starr. What's up, Jason? Jason.
Hello?
Hey, buddy. What's happening?
Jason, how you doing?
Hi, Dr. Drew.
Yep.
Okay, well, I have about 3 problems, and I'll be really quick, sir. My first problem is, well, basically, it's a friend problem.
Are you six?
My friends are now ragging on me because after, 30 failed relationships, I tried to date a best friend who was another dude, and that relationship tanked, and, I don't consider myself gay or bisexual or whatever because I'm basically no longer, I feel like I'm attracted to neither sex now. And
Jason, how old are you? How old are you?
Huh?
How old are you?
I'm 16, sir.
16, 30 failed relationships, your sexual identity spinning around like a pinwheel.
I don't know what to say about
I
that.
don't say either. What's the question?
The question is, it's not so much a question, but I'm seeking validation. I don't feel gay. I don't feel bisexual. I don't really want to date it. I just really want to be alone.
Jason, what I believe is validation comes from within. You do the right things in life. You get yourself in good shape, do the right things, be good to people, and your validation will come. You will notice that. And what I suggest to you is just keep trying. Don't give up. Whatever sex orientation you prefer, just don't give up.
And Jason, whatever happened to you growing up that makes you already by the age of 16 have 30 chaotic, unsatisfying relationships, that's a little disturbing. I don't know what you had to deal with to make you feel that relationships or have such difficulty with closeness or picking people who are actually... Go ahead.
Yeah, that too. And I've laughed about this, but I'm deeply, thinking, priesthood. And I'm, just so I could, not have not have the, temptation.
Well, all right, but Jason, I'll tell you what. I don't think people would recommend becoming a man of the cloth just to prevent yourself from being gay, which sounds like what you're trying to do here.
Right. If you want to become a man of the cloth because you for religious purposes, that would be one thing, but not for
to be alone or
right.
to gratify this chaos.
Exactly.
Do you ever watch Big Love? TV show?
Oh, I do. Yeah,
Did you watch
I love that.
Did you watch it this week?
No, I didn't. What?
This topic comes up. Did you watch Sadie Big Love, Anderson Big Love? You did what?
It's a big thumbs down, and I hear a phone. I hear a phone ringing.
You watched it?
I'm thumbs down.
I
told you, Drew, I can't watch it. I would become jealous of of Bill Paxton, who has all the
No,
wives.
you wouldn't because it's such a realistic portrayal of how chaotic life would be and miserable with trying to negotiate all that. It's very real.
I saw like a 3-minute trailer for one where he was cheating on his wife with his wife or something because it was a different day and he wasn't supposed to be with her that day.
Yeah, Margie was sort of making a thing one time, but it's more crazy than that. It's because anyone that would engage in that kind of a crazy situation has some stuff going on, right? And that stuff surfaces in all kinds of really interesting and accurate ways. Jeez, my phone's going off too. What the hell?
Bill Paxton is the man. 3 wives. That's awesome.
Well, this week there is a whole thing about the church trying to help a guy be not gay.
Oh, okay.
And he ends up, I'm not going to ruin the episode for you, but things don't go well at all.
Does he go to a bridge like on South Park?
It's that kind of thing. How many phones?
Another phone. Could you guys all call each other just for the hell of it? At least I'll
my
tie
phone,
up
hey, look, my phone went off too. It's not just these guys.
There's little buttons on them that make them on vibrate, guys.
All right, we're gonna let's take a call here. This is Kate. What's up, Kate? You're 20.
Hi.
Hey, Mike Starr. What's up?
Okay, so my question is, I've been best friends with this guy for almost 3 years now, and we're friends in high school as well, which is where we met. And he went away to college out of state, and we've been keeping in contact, and he's liked me for a few years, and I have feelings for him too, but it's more an emotional connection, and I'm not physically attracted to him because he's heavily overweight. And I guess my question is, should I talk to him about that and tell him about that in maybe the hopes that he would possibly try to lose weight, or is that a bad idea?
I think if you believe in the relationship, if you have faith in this relationship, you should be open and honest and say, hey, let's get in shape together, and that would really help things in bed. And
let's break it apart a little bit. You are really into this guy, or you're not really into this guy?
No, I am really
She's not attracted to him.
Just physically, there's something in the way,
right?
And I'm not sexually attracted to him.
And how bad is the weight problem?
Like really, like obese, clinically obese.
Like how much?
Let's put it this way. He had a personal trainer, and he lost 50 pounds, and he was still really, really, I would say like over 300 pounds.
Okay. So
have you ever known the guy when he was in semi good shape?
No. He's always been overweight. We've known each other since 10th grade.
And how far apart are you guys now?
He's on the East Coast.
Whoa. Is he at school or something?
Yeah, college. So, I mean, but we still keep in touch. We see each other for breaks and stuff, and we talk like every other day. But I just don't know what to do.
Well, hats off to you for keeping...
I could really see myself being with him.
All right, so, Kate, how about you take the approach of health? Like, this is
that's
really...
what I've tried.
Like, if we're going to be together, I can't have a guy that's going to die at 35. That's not going to work for me, especially if I want to have kids and have family. And what about something surgical, like a lap band or something, to really help this guy, and a trainer and other things? Has he ever contemplated anything like that?
He's had a personal trainer.
No, a surgical procedure.
Right. I don't know if he has considered that. And I mean, his parents do have enough money to do that.
So that's a possibility. And then finally, a dietitian. Has he ever worked with a dietitian?
Probably. I think he has, but he just never keeps with it, And as far as dieting is concerned, he doesn't actually eat the healthy food. He eats like the diet food, like lean cuisine and stuff.
Yeah, for some people, weight is really a genetic thing, and it is as much as anything.
His whole family's obese.
Yeah, and if you look at Biggest Losers, a lot of those people end up back where they were before the show, even though they're able to lose it. It goes back again, and these surgical procedures do have some results. I mean, I hate to look at it as the solution, but it's an adjunct to getting where he needs to be, and so it really ought to look into that.
I see a 2 birds, 1 stone situation here, though, Drew, because she doesn't want to hurt his feelings, but if she breaks up with him, he gets depressed. I've lost 20 pounds over being lovesick before, so it could be 2 birds, right?
Chad, 25. What's up, Chad? Hey, by the way,
not bad, right?
Hi, hello to my boo, Lonnie Love, who gone the record on Twitter saying that 16-year-old was the oldest sounding 16-year-old we've ever spoken to.
I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah,
you're right.
Thank you, boo. What's up there, Chad?
Not much, man. Okay, so I'm seeing this girl. We're not really dating. It's just kind of more of like a friends with benefits thing.
Mm-hmm.
And She's anemic, so she has to like eat every 2 hours. So she's constantly eating fast food. She's got a really, really poor diet.
All right, so let's be clear, and that is not a treatment for anemia. So she's either BSing you, or she has some other disorder, or something. I don't know what that
really?
is. Oh,
okay.
Please.
I didn't know that. Okay, well, anyways, so regardless, she's got like a really poor diet, and I actually, I get really turned on by pleasing girls, so. The fact that she has a really poor diet, it really she's got like a really bad odor and taste down there. And I'm kind of curious, like, how do you go about telling a girl without offending her?
Mike Starr?
No, I don't know what to say about that.
First of all,
honesty is best policy.
Well, probably it definitely has nothing to do with her diet. So take that off your list. That whole diet thing is some sort of ruse. That I don't know what she's up to. If she has an eating disorder, I don't know what's going on. Bad smell is vaginal infection until proven otherwise. Okay, so one sort of approach is to go, I was listening to the radio the other night, and this guy called in, and Drew said, you got to see the doctor when you're changing smell, bad smell, and I'm worried about you, and I noticed something, and maybe we ought to take you in and put you up on the rack.
That's I would agree with that.
See, Mike Starr thinks that's a good idea, and it's something as simple sometimes as a cream to take care of. It's a vaginitis, or it's either a trichomonas or a bacteria, and it's something that's easily treated. And then some people just have got the stuff going on. I mean, some people just are different than others. Mike, we're not going to say anything negative about anybody tonight. So so it's just to each his own, right?
Yeah, exactly. How long have you known this girl?
Chad,
are you there?
How long have you known her?
How long have you known her?
I've known her for about like 8 months now.
And she uses the anemia excuse to eat every 2 hours.
yeah, that's what she told me. So I was under the impression that that's what it was.
Is she in good shape physically, or?
Yeah, like she's really skinny. Like as much as she eats, like she's just skinny.
Right, because she's vomiting in between the meals.
Go. That's probably what it is.
I'm not too sure. That could be it. I don't know.
Has she ever mentioned bulimia or anything like that? No.
Yeah, it makes sense, though, right? It's a common thing. It's something that happens to people, and she's, people that have that want to hide it and shroud it, and she doesn't want to really deal with it, and you shouldn't force her to. I mean, except that it's dangerous, and she might have to deal with it one day, but it's
one of the worst things you could do to your body.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree.
And I don't think it creates smells necessarily. It may predispose to infections and whatnot. I got another Twitter saying, "Tell Mike Starr he sounds fantastic."
Oh, much
nice. Healthier, amazing.
Oh, thank you
Truly,
very much.
Amazing.
I really appreciate that.
So I want to hear, when did you have some sort of moment of clarity, or what got you to like where you are now? Because you were struggling. I was telling you went through one of the most horrific withdrawals you can go through, which is methadone.
Just
hold it. We're going to talk about it after the break. We
take
some calls. 1-800-LOVE-191. We'll be right back. And by the way, I'm getting confirmation that the family episode of CR3 is on with Layne Staley's mom, Nancy. That's coming up Thursday night on VH1, 10 o'clock. Welcome back. It is Loveline. The phone number is 1-800-LOVE-191. Mike Starr in here. You saw him and continue to see him on Celebrity Rehab 3, and we'll see him on Sober House. And I want you to remember his voice tonight as you see the struggles this man goes through to get sober. And it is really, I must tell you, well, the kind of withdrawal you had to go through is sort of inhuman. And I was throwing everything I could at you in terms of the pharmacology, what we could do to help you.
Right.
And it was still miserable. It was still awful.
Definitely was.
And people, it's funny, I'm getting criticism from all over the place. People saying, leave him on Suboxone, much higher dose, much longer. And that, I'm like, yeah, but Mike wanted to get through this. He wanted to push through. I mean, you were all the while like, get me through. I want to do this. And then finally you pushed through. What was that? Because we were struggling a while at the app. People don't know, even after Sober House, we continued to try to help you with that withdrawal, which went on for months and months and months.
Well, I'll tell you that Suboxone, the Suboxone works for the pain, but it constipates you. So it bloats you.
Yeah, you were complaining of bloating.
I'm vain, or I have a little bit of that vanity in me, so I didn't want to be so bloated on the cameras.
So you'd say get rid of the Suboxone.
Yeah, that's why I would go off on the camera so much, because I just didn't feel right in my own skin.
Yeah.
And so we got rid of the Suboxone, and I went through a little pain, but you
were pretty miserable.
I was pretty miserable.
Yes, you were.
I'm pretty miserable.
The anxiety and the desperation is just awful.
And plus the lack of energy that you have.
Oh yeah, you complained of the kind of flu-like.
Remember, we'd have activities planned out during the day, and I couldn't attend some of them.
Yeah, or you'd start out. Mike would show up in groups. He'd be like, "Okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get into this," and then he'd be like, "I got to get out of here. I can't do this." Yeah, it's awful. Well, not many people make it to this point, so God bless you.
No matter what happened, I just look at how I feel today. And, God bless you, Dr. Drew.
So today you're good.
God bless you.
That's what counts.
God bless you.
Mike, I didn't do anything. As my patients tell me, I just kind of turn you in the right direction, turn you towards what you got to do, and then you do it. I'm there sort of as a cheerleader as much as anything.
Who are the people that call you up and tell you you should have left them on more Suboxone?
Yeah, who
are those people?
Well, doctors from all over the country think that I've had
I don't
people
see them on TV.
No,
yeah, right.
Yeah. But you'd be amazed. There's epistemological problems in addiction medicine, and I take one very hard line, and we talked about it last night at the event, in fact, which is a lot of physicians think we should give more medicines to addicts, and it creates more trouble. It really does. It's much harder work to be with people, stay with them while they go through these horrible withdrawals and hang in with them. You got to spend a lot of time. You got to be available a lot. And you got to connect with them, and you got to help them connect with other people too. Because without that, they aren't going to make it. It's other people that kind of drags you through. It seems like, at least that's my little theory.
Right, and plus the more drugs, then they're just hooked on those drugs.
The longer it takes, the more you got problems, and of course that just the disease becomes very, very active. Then you never get through that. You never get over that hump into your flourishing existence without drugs. You never get there.
Yeah,
and so it's hard work.
They don't get to that point where, they have that. It's like a crutch. They use those medicines or medications as a crutch. They wake up and they think, well, I have that to get me through the day. They need to put more time together, days together without that crutch, so that they can stand on their own 2 feet without a crutch.
That's exactly like any other rehabilitation process. You eventually build strength.
Right.
How's your mom?
My mom's great.
I just was flashing at her. She must be so happy with how you're doing.
I just bought her a new furniture set, and she's so happy. Oh, I got my
Peggy, right?
I got my sister.
Peggy. Is that Peggy?
Gail. Gail Starr. Mary Gail Starr.
Gail's not listening tonight, is she?
I gotta say hi to Mary Gail Starr, my mom. I love you, Mom. And
really? She's
my dad, John Starr. I gotta say hi to him. I love you.
But Gail, I mean, she worries about you. Like any mom would.
Yeah.
She must be so
She's so
happy.
proud now. Yeah, she told me to tell you hello.
Oh, please say hi back.
We've got 5 very filthy calls.
All right, let me get some.
5.
I gotta say hi to my sister Melinda Starr too.
Hi,
Drew, that's the only one that's not filthy.
All right. Which one do you want?
They're all great. Just anyone with that one.
How about this one? Kirsten, you're 23.
Hey, Kirsten.
Hi. My question is, I've been sleeping with this guy for about a month now, and he's definitely the largest guy, well endowed, I would say, guy that I've ever slept with. And I do kind of like it hard when we have sex. And last night when we were having sex, and we've never had a problem before, but last night when we were having sex, and afterwards, then he had like blood all over him from me, and I'm not on my period or anything, so I was just wondering what that could be from.
Maybe it could be the start of your cycle.
No, it's like
not at all.
It's not around my period at all.
No, but
and
listen,
then I wasn't bleeding afterwards either. It wasn't like
For some women, sex will stimulate bleeding. And sometimes it happens all the time. Sometimes it happens rarely. And and there can be reasons for it. You can have a uterine infection. You can have excessive growth of your uterine lining from certain birth control pills. You can have instability of the uterine lining from certain birth control pills. And you can have something like a cervical polyp or something. Those things can bleed. So are you on the pill?
Yeah.
Okay, so that would be a typical reason to have that kind of bleeding. It's not as though he tore you open inside or something. Didn't have pain. Did you have pain?
Yeah, well, I'm sore, but I'm always kind of sore afterwards.
Yeah, no, it just stimulated uterine bleeding, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
He must have been really pleased with that, though, huh? He was pretty happy?
He was?
I'm just asking.
Yeah, probably.
Not so much. All right, Kirsten, take care. Be easy on yourself,
okay,
right?
you.
All right. And Nathan, 14. Nathan, what's up? You're on Mike Starr.
How you doing, Nathan?
Yeah, I've had this problem. I'm uncircumcised, and I masturbated a few days ago, and it tore, like the skin tore near the tip.
Right.
And I wanted to know, like, how long it'd take, like, for that to heal up, because it hurts, like, pretty bad.
Don't touch that for a while, Jim. I don't know what else to say.
A little peroxide, Nathan? Keep it clean. Maybe some Bactroban or even Neosporin, something like that on there. And then here's the deal. Did it sort of tear in the part of the foreskin that's kind of tacked down at the base of the penis? Where it kind of attaches?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a common thing. And it's one of the reasons guys get circumcisions later in life, because that thing keeps tearing, or it bothers them, or it tears on the outside, and then it kind of narrows down and causes something called a phimosis, where the head of the penis can't get out of the foreskin. And thank your parents for not circumcising you when you wouldn't have felt anything. It's all right. It's no big deal, but be careful. Do not let it get infected. If it gets infected, go see the doctor, okay?
Okay.
But now peroxide, Neosporin.
How long before he can touch himself?
2 weeks.
Don't touch that. You'll go blind.
2 weeks. Can you make it? Nathan,
you all right?
Can you make it 2 weeks? You'll be all right?
Yeah.
All right.
Sure?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, we're praying for you, Nathan.
I got a feeling 40-year-old Anderson would not have made it.
Oh, no, I would have been fine. I would just have had sex. What about lubricated peroxide?
No.
No.
I don't think that's such a thing. Natasha, you're 17.
Hi. So my boyfriend and I have been having sex now for like 2 weeks, and I mean, I'm trying everything to get him off, but I don't know. He has trouble getting off. He's on antidepressants. He's on Paxil. But,
Right, which can make you not have an orgasm. That's what that does.
Right.
yeah, but I mean, I'm trying everything. We've tried several different positions.
Natasha.
I mean, yeah.
He's on a medication that won't let him have an orgasm.
Well, is there anything I can do to help him?
No. The medicine will not let him have an orgasm. That's a
I
common...
mean, he can if he masturbates. But
probably if he gets it just right. And maybe he can help you sort of figure out what that is. But that's a very common complication from Paxil or Prozac or Zoloft.
Can he find a different kind of medication? Something that'll help?
Does he have anxiety, panic attack, something like that?
I don't think so.
Then maybe he should talk to his doctor about other medicines. Well,
Yeah, that's
Butrin,
what I'd say.
Remeron, these things are much more helpful with that to that end, okay?
Okay.
All right.
So there's nothing I can do, really? I mean, I even deep through it, like, past my tonsil.
Natasha.
Yeah.
He's got a biological problem. It's not your problem.
Okay.
He can't, now, the fact that he's able to masturbate and do it is sort of interesting, and I understand that sort of throws the gauntlet down for you and gives you a big challenge. But there's guys that have delay sometimes can do it with masturbation, but not with intercourse. And he's now got a severe delay from the medicine. He might talk to his doctor about maybe some different medicine, okay?
Okay.
All right.
All right, Natasha.
All right. Mike's sending her on. Joey, you're 18. What's up?
Hi. I've been with my girlfriend for about a year and a half, and we've been having sex for maybe a year and 4 months, like the majority of the time. And she squirted a couple weeks ago. I think it was squirt, but the way it came out and the amount of it kind of threw me off. And I kept going, but it was just, I don't know whether it was like urine or whether it was squirt or...
There's a lot, huh?
Urine or squirt?
I don't know which one it was.
Mike?
I have heard of that before, I believe. I mean, you'd be able to tell if it was urine. So,
yeah, urine is...
You pretty much know.
It looks like urine, smells like urine. A lot more of it than the usual female ejaculate.
Yeah, there's squirters. I mean, maybe she's one of them. She's a squirter.
Has she ever had children?
No.
Because the women that are what's so-called postpartum, meaning they've had a child, are a little more likely to have urinary incontinence with orgasm. But then some women have urinary incontinence with orgasm. So what difference does it make?
Well, it's kind of gross. But also, after we talked about it, and she was completely turned off by the fact that happened, and she just doesn't want to have sex with me anymore.
Well, you should, I think I would think the opposite. I would think you would be you would think, wow, I hit the jackpot there. I really made her feel good.
That's what I thought, but not what she thinks. The reason she is like that is because after it happened, I talked to her and I started laughing.
Oh.
And it was an uncomfortable laugh, like what just happened. Like,
okay, so you sort of humiliated her.
I didn't mean to. It wasn't on purpose.
Maybe you should go back and say something like, I've been thinking about that, and I just, it's been turning me on lately, thinking about that, and I've just really turned on by what happened, and I just really...
Yeah, it made me uncomfortable.
Really
it shocked me. I didn't know how to react, but I was really into it.
Yeah, something like that.
She just doesn't want to anymore. I don't know how to make her feel more comfortable. When I try to go into it, she just like...
Is she around? Can we talk to her?
No, she's not around.
Well, don't give up. Don't give up, I mean, you have feelings for this girl, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, don't give up, and, try to make her feel good about the situation. Say, I've been thinking about it a lot, and I just, it's been turning me on more and more the more I think about it. Maybe that'll make her feel good,
Okay.
Doesn't Joey have to pee next time?
Oh, I sort of reciprocate or do something embarrassing.
Something even worse than peeing.
Yeah. Do something really. Yeah.
Pee while puking next time.
Thanks, Anderson. I'm looking at some Twitter action here on you, Mike, and you may or may not want to talk about this, but they wanted somebody's asking some follow up on. I guess you made some comment. It must have been during the last show on Celebrity Rehab that you were around Layne around the time he died, and I know you told that story at the family event. I don't know if that actually goes on TV or not. Do you want to elaborate on that at all? Or?
I was with Layne the day it was my birthday. The day he died, the day after my birthday, and I was with him all that day on my birthday, trying to keep him alive. And I even asked him if I could call 911, and he said if I did, he would never talk to me again. And of course, I didn't know he was going to die, or I would have called 911 anyways. Of course, I would much rather have had him alive and him not talking to me than to have lost such a great human being.
And a dear friend.
Just a great person. What a great person he was.
Yeah. I will say to the Twitterer that was asking this question that we did a little bit of dismantling this. You may not remember it back in Family Day. It was very clear Mike harbored deep guilt about this, and he had nothing to do with it. There was no way.
But he had saved my life in South America one time. We were touring with Nirvana and the Chili Peppers, and we were playing a big show, a big festival down in South America. And Kurt had taken me into the room, the bathroom, him and Courtney, and we shot up all night. And then Layne didn't know that, and I went to Layne's room, and we shot up, and I had OD'd. And
you shot up on top of what you had done with Courtney and
Kurt. Yeah, and so Layne didn't know that, and so I wake up and I'm all wet, and I'm laying over the toilet, and I'm in a different room, and I'm all wet, and he had added me in the shower and everything, and I didn't, I was obviously blacked out during that whole time.
Were you not breathing or something during that?
I was flatlined, and he said, and he's crying, punching me in the face, and I'm like, what's wrong? What did I do? He's like, you were dead for 11 minutes, Mike. So him saving my life, and then me not being able to save his life.
Well, Mike, I'm going to switch that story around for you, okay? Yes, he cared deeply about you. Yes, he pulled you through that. He risked your life.
No,
he would not have known what to do if you actually were flatlined. Putting you in the shower would be the worst thing you could possibly do.
Really?
If you were flatlined, you needed fluids and CPR and other things. Yeah. He should have called 911 and not done what he did. Okay. But for the grace of God, you made it through.
Right. Okay.
And he, of course, cared deeply and did what he thought was right.
Right. He did what he thought was right.
We can't fault him for that.
No, not at all.
But the reality is, he didn't save your life. Something else saved your life.
Right.
He was around while you made it through.
And I got to tell you, sometimes I feel naked without Layne in this life. Now, still to this day, I don't care about a band thing. I don't care about losing, them dismissing me from the band. I never quit the band, for one thing. I'm not a quitter. Yeah. Not a quitter, that's for sure. But I don't care about any of that. I love Layne for the human being that he is, and so that's just. I just really miss him.
I know. I know that.
I just really miss him.
And meeting his mom too, you get a little taste of who he was.
Right. Yeah. What a sweetheart.
There is a Layne Staley fund. I forget. Maybe. Do you know the website?
I don't know the website.
I will come up with it during the break, and we'll give them. Nancy does these events every year to support, basically to help treat addiction and raise awareness and whatnot. Phone number here is 1-800-LOVE-191. We're going to keep going here. You ready, Mike?
I'm ready.
Here's a Mike. Mike, you're 19.
Hey, Mike. Yeah, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Doing good, Mike.
All right. I got a kind of personal question.
Really? On Loveline? Buddy. No way.
Obviously, I know. Funny, but I've been habitually having sex with this girl I know for the past 6 months, give or take.
Good job, buddy.
And every time, I come to the point where I'm about to ejaculate, my testicles, they, I don't know how to put this, they don't, go up into me. They just kind of, rise up and don't, I don't know, but it causes pain, and it's kind of weird.
Well, they pull up into your groin, and sometimes they even roll up in your inguinal canal. And that's normal, for the most part.
I've had sex before, and I've had, what I think to be is a normal ejaculation, and that normally doesn't happen. But this
I know, but it can happen. It can happen that your testicles can pull up into the inguinal canal. Not that unusual.
Wow,
does it normally cause pain though? Because
I would look into it. Make sure you don't have a hernia or something. You would want a doctor to check it, but it doesn't necessarily. It's certainly nothing you should freak out about.
Oh,
okay. It's not your testes start up in your back when you're a baby. They start where the ovaries are, and they descend down and come out the inguinal canal where your leg joins your body, and then descend into the testes.
Oh my God!
Mike's got to look at me. Wow!
I am learning things left and right here.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to actually hear.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of a non-descended testes? There's something that happens. A kid's testes don't drop down. They have to go surgically pull them down, because if they don't and they stay up in the abdomen, they can become cancerous. They degenerate into testicular cancer.
If that were to happen, I could end up losing my...
No, you don't have that problem. I'm just showing you that there's a natural track there that they're finding their way back up during this intense excitement that's pulling the cremasteric muscles, contracting them, and pulling the testes up into the canal, okay?
All right, no, I got you.
But still talk to the doctor just to make sure it's not a hernia or something else causing the pain.
Yeah, you sure it's not a hernia, huh?
It's not you typically.
When you were in medical school and you had to learn like words like cremasteric,
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, did you use like little mind games and tricks to learn it? Like for myself, I would remember cremasteric because I had to do with the testicles, where cream comes from when you're hysterical.
No, yeah, we would use little tricks like that, but not that particular one.
What do you remember? Which one you used there?
No, because cremasteric was there's certain things when you're in medical school that jump out at you like that is hysterical, and the cremasteric response is one of those you start using it in conversation that very afternoon. When you're talking with your buddies, you go, "Oh, I got nervous. My cremasteric response was in full fledged."
And Dominic can kick in the cremasteric.
The other thing is the thing that makes your testes look wrinkly is this sheath that covers it called the.
He's talking about the ball sack.
The ball sack. What did I say? The scrotum looks wrinkly. It's called the dartos tunic. So my friend immediately started talking about how he would freeze his dartos tunic off if it was too cold outside.
Man, I need to start taking notes here.
It's like a brain. We always call it the dick brain. That's what we call it.
Should we take a call or a break? All right, a break.
Actually, let's take Christy. I feel bad.
Yeah, let's take Christy.
All right, Christy's the one that Anderson diverted me from.
I'm sorry, Christy.
Okay, Christy, what's going on? 22.
Hi, Dr. Drew. I just want to say I listen to you every night. I love your show.
God bless you. Thank you, Christy. What's going on?
I just had I can only get off when I'm on top of a guy.
Congratulations.
Yes, sexually. And I've been with my boyfriend for a little over 3 years now, and we've done multiple positions and tried all sorts of lubes and toys and whatnot, but nothing seems to work, and it's only if I'm on top of them.
That's good.
You know, if there was...
Wait, Christy. Christy. More women than not can't have an orgasm with intercourse at all.
Oh.
So you're already above average.
That's what I would say.
Yep. And the fact that you have found a position that allows you to do it, more power to you. It's the relatively unusual woman that can sort of can have an orgasm in any position. That's relatively uncommon.
Oh, okay.
So you're ahead of the curve, all right?
Well, that's good.
There you go.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you.
Enjoy.
Bye.
That was an easy one. See, a happy customer, Anderson.
There we go.
Took that one. Mike Starr in the studio. 1-800-LOVE-191 is the number. Mike Starr, bass player from Alice in Chains. He now has a new band we're trying to scrape together some material from so you can hear it in the next hour. As well, you can see him on Celebrity Rehab 3. And, of course, this week on Thursday, VH1, 10 o'clock, the family episode where Layne Staley's mom comes around. And it's very, very moving for me. And your mom comes around, too.
Yep, that's correct.
Which is a delight.
Yeah.
And Mike is doing amazing now. He's an inspiration. I would urge you to remember him tonight and then watch the next shows all the way through Sober House and see how this man struggled and how he's gotten to where he is now. During the break, we're going to look for the Layne Staley Fund.
Okay.
I forget what it's called and give you guys websites for that.
It is called the Layne Staley Fund.
Yeah. We'll be back with more Mike Starr, more your calls after this. Welcome back. As I promised before the break, we would sleuth out the Layne Staley Fund, and lo and behold, it is the LayneStaleyFund.com. Layne, L-A-Y-N-E. Staley, S-T-A-L-E-Y, one word, Layne Staley Fund, also no spaces. And it talks about the mission, and it's lots of messages from Nancy, and the tributes, and the every August fundraiser they put together. And I strongly recommend you support this organization. They do a good job.
You know, Drew, I think I'm gonna put a band together and play that next
in August.
Yeah, I think I'm
very cool.
I'm gonna talk to Nancy about.
Come on back, and we'll promote that in the summertime. That'd be great.
I'll put something together for that.
Another thing along these same lines, Tom Arnold just sent me an email that there's an iPhone, BlackBerry, every formatted platform available app called Recover Bud. This is from Tom Arnold. It's an app you can download for free. I believe
about getting weed?
No, it's the 10 closest 12-step meetings to where you are. You enter your zip code, and they'll give you the 10 closest meetings. He was saying how his friends and family are getting tired of him having to look for meetings all the time. And it's the Yowza for recovery.
But it's for addicts, and you got to type in bud.
No, it's recover bud. Like it's your recovering.
Sounds like
friend.
you're like a stoner that lost your weed.
Recover bud. It's not in order to recover bud. It's recover bud.
Hair of the dog.
Recover bud, and you put. I don't know if it costs anything. It doesn't say whether it's free or not. I suppose it's free. And in any event, it's like Yowza. Yowza is this thing that our buddy Greg Grunberg does, where you can put in you can actually locate where you are for you, and it'll give you the surrounding stores and download all the discount coupons onto your iPhone. You can scan them on as you leave a store. Well, this is a little simpler. This will give you the 10 closest meetings to the zip code you put in any city. And I assume the times and whatnot in the places, and so you just go to your meetings that way. Perfect.
Yeah,
Recover, bud.
That's like something I need.
iPhone app. That's what I'm talking about.
Can you go to your meeting just on your phone without actually going to the meeting? Can you like chat with people?
No. It's how to locate meetings. All right, let's talk to Ryan real quick about Mike. What's up there, Ryan? Ryan from Oregon. 25.
Ryan, how you doing, buddy? Are you there?
Ryan. All right, let's try this real quick. Jessica, you're 20.
Hey guys, how you doing?
We're
Jessica,
good.
how you doing?
All right. Well, my question is, I've been dating this guy on and off for a couple years since I was like around 16, 17, and we've only been together sexually once, and I'm really interested in this guy and everything. We have great connection, but the thing is, he has a very, very tiny, tiny penis. And
Not small, but tiny.
Oh, man.
He just killed himself.
You just killed him.
That's what I'm saying. So
don't tell him that he has a small penis.
Well, you just did.
We don't know his name, thank God. Do
we
not
don't
say
know his
it.
name.
No, I'm not going to say it.
And how tiny are we talking about here?
Well, but it's like I can barely feel it going in me.
Do you own a telescope?
You mean?
Let's just say a regular size condom slips off really quick.
Oof. You mean like pinky size?
Like pinky size.
Pinky.
Yeah. And he has a child with another woman that he had like a couple years ago.
So there you go. Works.
Yeah, exactly. It works. I know it works. But the thing is, like, I don't know how to approach it. That, I've told him ways to please me and stuff, but it's not quite working. Like, he doesn't follow directions correctly. I just don't know what to do. It's just so hard. Yeah.
Maybe things other than intercourse that might be satisfying for you?
I've tried to, direct him when he's doing oral and everything, but the thing is, it's just not as satisfying as intercourse is.
Oh, yeah. How about mechanical devices or anything? Some hardware or some technology?
I've tried that on my own and stuff, and I don't even like that on my own.
Jessica, what were you hoping to hear Drew say? What magical answer were you hoping?
Well, I was just looking for, how do I approach it in a nice way to be like...
What are those pills they sell nowadays?
No, they won't do anything.
They don't do anything?
No.
They're a sponsor.
I see them on
they are not.
They're one of
all
our
the time.
biggest sponsors.
They are not.
No, they're not.
No.
But Jessica, what is it you want to tell him?
But it's I don't know if I want to even say anything, but the thing is, it is hurting our relationship sexually.
Yeah, but what are you planning to tell him that he could do anything about? Why burden him with that?
That's the thing. I don't know what, I don't know what to do at all. Do I just, keep faking it? And
No, do not fake it. Do not fake. That's awful. Then you'll resent him and blame him for your faking it. I think you've got to find other means. You got to, you got to explore and figure it out. Yeah, Mike says the oral sex the way it is. That's your first order of business to make sure he gets that just right. And then
lay down the law, man. Say, get with the tongue or get out.
That's
not so harsh, but I mean, just be firm about it.
So hard because I'm so into him, just being him and being as a relationship and stuff. It's just the whole sexual part just really sucks.
Do they ever? I mean, would it ever? I'm just thinking outside the box here. Speaking of the technologies, and maybe you just won't go for it. I mean, what do lesbians use and things? Are they sort of a strap-on or extenders, or is there anything that he could use that might work for you?
I guess I can try a newer thing because I've tried the vibrators and some of the
but maybe something that approximates the real thing.
I just can't see how the tongue wouldn't work. I mean, if he practice.
Mike, what some women, though, is they get towards more orgasmic with intercourse, oral sex is less satisfying.
Really?
Yeah, so the women that, like, you have multiple orgasms, Jessica?
Yes.
Yeah, women that can have multiple orgasms don't find oral sex quite so satisfying.
Oh.
Yeah, because it's like once is all right, once in a while, but the thing is, I get off way more with intercourse.
So this is that spectrum.
This is one of those scenarios.
Yeah,
Okay.
and so I keep working on it. Figure it out. There's nothing he can do about it. This is just who he is, and if it's a deal breaker, that's very sad. It seems like you should be able to find something in this day and age.
And I had no idea that those pills or whatever that they sell, they don't work at all, huh? I see them on the TV 24 hours a day.
They make Bob smile. Bob seems to be quite happy, right?
And by the way, if you look at it's
All
not
the
even
ads.
clear what the pills are supposed to do.
Right?
Are they penis enlargement pills?
That's
Are
what
they
they say.
erection pills? No, they're not even clear what they're supposed
It
to
makes
do.
Bob's wife more satisfied.
Yeah,
That's
they don't
all
even
it says.
say what they do. They're called extends. Well, what does that mean?
Right.
Look, if there's something large a penis, it wouldn't cost a nickel a pill, for one thing.
Right. Okay.
Secondly, the only thing that works for erections requires a prescription. Requires. Period.
Yeah.
Because they're real medication. Everything else is BS. So they're making millions and millions and
Yeah, it
millions of
seems
dollars.
like they're doing pretty good. I mean, I see that
but that's
commercial
but
24
if you
hours
remember
a
the day, before there were baldness treatments, there were baldness pills that would that didn't work with the damn.
Yeah.
Lindsay, you're 19. What's going on?
Hi. I just wanted to ask you if it's possible, if you can get, I feel so embarrassed saying this, but athlete's foot in the cooter. I have a foot fetish. And my boyfriend, he's an athlete, and he's been, basically like, we're having intercourse, but with his feet. I really love it, and it's really gotten to this place where, like, it's really itchy and flaky, and I've tried talcum powder, and it doesn't really seem to work out. He doesn't know if he has athlete's foot, but, like, it's itchy and it's flaky, and I mean, have you ever heard of that before?
Mike Starr?
No, I haven't. No. You have a foot fetish? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
And, you're just going to have to get him to get some athletes or whatever that stuff is for athlete's foot. And I don't know. Just
A couple things. The athlete's foot occurs on the skin, not on the epithelium, not the lining of the vagina. There are other infections you can certainly get from the feet, other than the tinea pedis. It particularly affects feet. Secondly, your voice sounds familiar to me.
Is there a foot condom, Drew, you can use?
No foot condoms.
No foot condom.
So I'm going to call bogus on the caller.
On the caller?
Yeah.
Hey, Dr. Drew, it's Lisa D.
Oh, it's Lisa. How you doing? Lisa D'Amato, what are you doing?
Now we lost her. She screamed in her phone.
I'm sorry, I had to do it.
How you doing, Lisa?
I had to do it.
Oh, I love you, Lisa. How you doing?
You're breaking up a little bit, Lindsay. But that's Lisa D'Amato, one of
Man, that was pretty smooth. You caught that right away. I can't believe you did that.
I could just... I just recognize that voice.
Lisa.
Guys, I just wanted to do my little prankster little thing.
Oh, you're awesome,
Before
Lisa.
you call, Lisa, Mike was telling me how much he adored you, how cool you were.
I was just talking to her right before I got here.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, yeah.
Aww.
She's the reason why I'm on the show. She called me and said you guys were talking.
Really?
And
On this show? Oh,
on this show right here. And then you had called me the next day.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna go do dinner soon.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we got to hit some meetings and go do dinner and everything.
I'll let you guys get back to work.
Lisa,
how'd your studio work go today, Lisa?
What?
How'd your studio work go today?
I'm still here. You can hear it play it really quick.
There you go.
She's going to play her music for us.
Okay. All right.
Lisa, give it to Anderson. He'll play it during one of the bumpers, all right?
All right. Bye.
All right,
We
my dear.
love you, Lisa.
Lisa, great to hear from you, okay?
Okay.
Don't be a stranger. You take
Love
care.
you too.
If it was a real call, it would have been the
Bye-bye.
best call of the night by far.
Oh, please. But that's why you should question. She
That
did a good
was
job
funny.
faking it, but it still didn't fit with
I
We had a
can't
call.
believe you caught that. I
Yeah,
can't believe you caught
I
that.
We had a
hear
call 8 years ago, Drew, where a girl was scratching her feet and then pleasuring herself, and she did get some kind of infection there.
Yeah, you get affections.
And she actually liked it. That was the thing that she liked her
Well,
vagina to
thankfully, I
itch.
forget a lot of the calls we've had. Thankfully, that's the case. So here's the deal. Mike Starr and Lisa D'Amato were on Celebrity Rehab 3 together. You were friendly during the course of treatment, weren't you?
Oh, of course.
Me and
Lisa got along really
because people
good.
have moved in and out of friendships and things. During I can't keep track of it.
Oh, me and Lisa have always been tight.
That's good. And Lisa speaks very highly of Mike, and that's how Mike ended up coming here tonight. And Mike, as I mentioned earlier, is just doing fantastically. And people are congratulating Lisa on Twitter for having called in. It's good times. Lisa's doing great. Let's talk to Jessica. You're 18. What's up?
Hi, I have a question for you. I was dating this guy for a little over a month, and everything was perfect. We never argued about anything. We never disagreed about anything. And we saw each other every day, and everything was perfect. And then we had sex, and the day after that, he broke it off.
How long into the relationship was it you had sex?
It was a little over a month, and I asked him, was it the sex? Was it bad? And he was like, no, it was amazing, and I'm very sexually attracted to you. It's just not going to work for me. And he started to say that I'm too young for him, and that we're on different life levels, and just pulled all these random excuses out. And I told him it doesn't make any sense.
Well, you weren't too young for him before he had sex with you.
Right.
I don't get that.
How old is he?
He's 24 and I'm 18, and he knew how old I was, and we talked about it, and he totally was fine with it. He never cared. We'd go out, he'd order a drink, I wouldn't. It didn't bother him at all. And then he said that he lived too far from me.
He sounds like a...
Whoops.
Yeah,
it's all right. It's all right. I totally agree with you, Mike, but the big S-bomb got dropped. We got to reset our little dumper here.
But everything was perfect.
Hang on, are we okay, Anderson?
Argued, everything was wonderful.
Maybe it's because you never, ever shut up, Jessica. That could have something to do with it.
Anderson doesn't like people that talk. Women that talk, anyway.
No, how dare you.
Here's the deal, Jessica. Whatever he's saying, I agree with Mike. It's BS.
Yeah.
It's all. Well, you're taking each one of his explanations as though they are truthful, and each one is one more obfuscating, BS, manipulative, whatever. He's not going to admit to you anything. The sex may have been good, it may have been bad. Who knows?
Did you talk during sex? Because then it would be.
He
really
may have been having that relationship with you only to have sex, and once he did, he's out. Who knows?
How rude of the guy to wait until after you have sex to pull this.
Right, which suggests that he was only in it for that.
Oh, my God.
And then for him, and that guy that does that is not going to then go, oh, Jessica, reality is, I just wanted to have sex with you, and that, that's it. Once I had that, I was out.
Yeah.
That guy doesn't exist. But the guy that does that guy runs around all over the place. You find those guys in every corner.
Well, after that, he's told me that he's still, he wants to be with me and all this stuff, but he won't see me. He said he can't say goodbye to me because it's going to hurt too bad to say goodbye to me. And he will not see me to say bye to me, and said he can't handle it, and this is killing him.
Oh.
And could it be because he had a bad relationship before me? He was in a 3-year relationship before me.
Jessica.
Now, he's playing head games with you, right?
Yeah, that is total
he
BS.
Is playing games with you.
Yeah. Here's two men spontaneously telling you the same thing. He doesn't want to see you because he doesn't want to deal with you. He doesn't want to see you. Not because it's too painful, not because of any other... You're relaying to us each of these answers as though they mean a damn thing. Each answer is a lie. Mm-hmm. Complete and total manipulation and lie.
I agree.
So stop listening to this guy. He's not with you because he doesn't want to be with you. Period. And he wanted to have he had sex with you because he wanted to have sex with you.
Or he sounds like he's trying to pull your heartstrings with every comment.
Well, he's trying to alleviate his own guilt. Well, I really am into you. You're such a great girl, but I can't be in your presence because, well, it's just too painful right now.
But he still won't break it off, and he still wants to see her.
Well, no, he doesn't want to be in her presence. Doesn't want to see her to talk it through.
Guys, they did it for a month. If this was like 6 months or a year, it'd be a real question. It's a month. Just move away.
Yeah,
Jessica,
learn from this. Bad guy, bad situation.
Yeah, you're better than that. Yeah, move on.
Get on with it, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Here is Danielle with a question for Mike. Daniel.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm a big fan of Alice in Chains, and you're pretty much the reason why I'm watching Celebrity Rehab.
Hey, thanks, Daniel.
That's cool.
That's really nice.
Does he sound great now, Daniel?
Yeah, he sounds really good. I'm
amazing.
Because,
I really appreciate that, Daniel.
It's stuck to have another person from the Seattle scene, OD. I'm glad they got better.
Hey, thank you.
My question is, how is your relationship with his father? Because I know when I watched the first episode, you shared drugs with your dad.
Oh, thank you for asking that, Daniel. I really appreciate that because my father's my world. Everybody's dad is their hero, right? Mine, I'm no exception to that. My father is my hero. He's always been my hero. And, we're not perfect, and we did drugs together, but my dad is, he doesn't do drugs anymore, doesn't do those drugs anymore, the cocaine or anything like that. And
I talked to him a couple weeks ago. That's when we first touched base.
Right.
The reason I got back in touch with Mike is his dad, John, called me.
Okay.
He had, or your sister actually, I think, called me or something.
Right,
and John,
right.
They have concerns about, now that Mike's well, they want him to solve all the problems in his life all at once.
Right.
And I talked to him. John sounded great, and I sort of calmed him down a little bit, and then was glad to reconnect with Mike.
And I talk to my father every day, and I love my father more than anybody in the world. And I really appreciate you bringing him up, Daniel. Thank you. And he's doing really good. Thanks for asking. I really appreciate that.
You're welcome, and thank you for the music that you made, man. You and Alice in Chains and everyone were a big inspiration to me.
Thank you so much, Daniel. Thank you.
Daniel,
that means a lot to me.
This is Mike. What's up, Mike? You're 20.
Yeah, how you guys doing tonight?
We are good.
All right, so about I'll say 4 years ago, when I would squeeze, well, I don't squeeze my nipples often, but if I were to
Thank you
squeeze
for
my
that.
nipples, I'd have a clear secretion come out.
What?
Milk. Yes.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. Am I a freak or what?
No.
Well, no, you're not a freak, but that is a medical issue. Were you on any medication at the times?
No.
Really? Sure?
Yeah.
You ever had any thyroid problems?
Well, I went to the doctor, got that checked out, and my thyroid's fine.
Okay. Were they evaluating you for the breast milk production?
Yeah, I told the doctor that, so he checked my thyroid.
Okay. They check your thyroid. They check your prolactin level, the pituitary hormone. Did they do that?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, that's something that he should do as well, he or she. And then the most common reason for this, frankly, is medication. The next most common would be thyroid condition. In women, obviously, the most common reason is pregnancy, sometimes even birth control pills. But medication is the most common reason somebody gets this issue. Beyond that, it's thyroid and pituitary tumors. So, my friend, it's not that you're a freak. It's that you just got to make sure you don't have a medical problem there, okay?
So should I go back to the doctor?
Yeah, I would check to get a prolactin level. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, buddy.
Thank you.
Take care.
And quickly before break, we have Heather, who is 23. Heather, what's going on there?
Hi, yes. I've actually been with my boyfriend for 2 years, and I'm 30 years old, and we just actually had a baby. She's 4 months old, and I was really horny during the pregnancy, and I tended to feel like I don't know, I guess it was more for his needs, but I started liking, I don't know, girls, and I don't know if it was just me being bigger or whatever, and my way of to make him feel more comfortable and not leave me. But we brought girls into the relationship a couple times, and then he let me know, now that she's 6 months old, that basically there's a trust thing. He let me know that he's been sleeping with his sister, or he had been, for 4 years.
Wait a minute. Hold the phone.
Yeah.
Hold the phone.
Anderson,
He's
hold
been
the phone.
sleeping with his sister.
Exactly, and
His blood sister. His real sister.
Yes, his real sister by blood, and he felt like he should be open with me, and it kind of freaked me out. And now that I'm 30 years old, we have a baby together. He says he's over it, and she's I don't know. She's a lot young. I don't know about how much younger. They're a few years apart, but she's
doesn't really matter.
She's 23 right now, and she's basically in a relationship, and she's blaming me and my daughter for keeping him away from her.
Oh, you're kidding.
This is the most intense
Heather
thing of the night. I am.
All right.
I
am
All I
dumbfounded.
know is one of my friends I talked to said if he doesn't know the difference between blood, what if he wants to mess with our daughter?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Heather.
Think about that.
So I don't know. What's your advice?
All right.
I don't know. I want the best for my baby.
All right. So this is
guy
going to
end up being a complete weirdo.
And you have a baby with this gentleman.
Yeah. Anyways,
yeah, that
can you help?
complicates
How long
things.
you been with him?
2 years, about.
And this all came about because you were starting to have threesomes with him while you were pregnant?
Just like 2 times, because I don't know if it was just me feeling like I didn't want him to leave me, and he brought other women into it. And I thought they were hot at the time too. I was really horny. But
none of that's wrong. I mean, none of that's wrong. That's natural.
Enough to tell me this, that he slept with his sister.
That's the part.
For 4 years, and it's his like blood sister. So
we got it. Our heads exploded 5 minutes ago.
Right.
How? And has he been okay in relationships otherwise, or have there been issues in the past or in this relationship?
He's had a bad past. Like, I thought this was, he's a few years younger than I am, and I know he used to, like, I don't know, he wasn't perfect, and now he claims that he's completely over it, and he's not trusting enough to tell me that, but...
Yeah, stop with that. He's felt trusting enough. That's your...
Yeah,
don't even worry about that. That's not an issue. I think this. By the way, this guy you've been with you for 2 years. Yeah, forgot to tell you he was involved in incest. How old was he when this started?
I think he was like, I don't know, like 21.
I gotta tell you.
And how old was she?
Not only enough. I don't know.
Okay, so she was like a middle, like how much, like how old? Give me an idea.
Do I have to?
Yes, we need to know.
Why?
Because a 21-year-old who starts having sex with his sister.
Yeah, I know. That's what my friend said.
That's the most bizarre. Frankly, from my standpoint, as a guy that has to listen to this nonsense every night, not nonsense, these horrible things. The starting at 21 is the most bizarre feature of this call.
Isn't it?
Sometimes when kids, like young children, are sexually abused, particularly by a parent, they will then start engaging in incest with one another because their boundaries have been so severely shattered. They don't understand sexuality. They are sort of acting out in strange ways because they're just trying to make sense of things as little kids. When an adult sibling becomes a predator of a younger sibling, that's a full-on predator. And so it makes me worry about sociopathy, and it just, anything's possible now.
Well, she's been, like, giving us guilt trips that my baby and I are keeping him
that's
away from her.
also so
and
terribly.
He looks at her like he still likes her, and vice versa. And I just think I should get out. But
that's also so terribly bizarre. The sister,
and so important. The kid situation.
Exactly. Exactly. I don't want anything.
Well, how old was the sister?
My child.
It's your child's father.
That's kind of important, especially now.
I would get out of
baby, right?
I would personally get out of the relationship, but keep keep the door open for your kid. So that your child has a father. But
I just wanted another, point of view. You know what I mean?
How old is the sister?
How old was the sister?
How old is
she right now?
Right now,
like 23. She's
23. So
he's 30 now.
So she was 14 at the time of the original, or 15 at the time of the original incest. So okay, Heather, here's the deal. I can't ethically tell you what to do or what not to do.
Mike can,
and he's given his opinion, and I'm not saying I disagree with it.
Right.
But I will say the only other option is to have him evaluated by a professional to really see what the risks are here, and have somebody else take the responsibility of sort of really figuring out what. I mean, this is 3 minutes on the radio, or actually it's 5 minutes.
We could have kept her on for another 6 too. I want to figure out where they get the ladies that want to have sex with a pregnant lady and her husband.
Where they got them?
Yeah. No, we can't go back to her. But I mean, we could have unpeeled her like an onion for hours.
Yes, of course. And so, but the fact is, a team of professionals working for 6 months would just barely scratch the surface.
Best case scenario, Drew, none of this happened. He made it all up because it doesn't really make sense, and he just wants a divorce.
That's a possibility, or it's a bogus call, but it still sounded, something rang a little bit true for me.
I think so too.
And I would just say, get him evaluated, or at least yourself go in with a professional, so you can be under some guidance as you make some decisions here. The guy that would be a predator on his sister when he's 21, initiate that at 21, that guy's capable of a lot. And I would really look into things very carefully. Maybe he's open for treatment. Maybe he was strung out on drugs at the time or something, didn't know what he was doing. I mean, it warrants a little looking into before anybody makes you
Kid comes first.
Make a decision.
That's the most important thing.
So agree with Mike. Mike Starr in here from Celebrity Rehab 3 and Alice in Chains. He's the original bass player. He is here, sounding good, looking good. And he's
OG,
here
baby.
taking calls. 1-800-LOVE-191. Be right back. Back on Loveline. Mike Starr in here, bass player. Original bass player of Alice in Chains.
OG, baby.
OG. And he is doing fantastic. You saw him suffer his way through Celebrity Rehab. You will see him continue to struggle with just unbelievable withdrawal symptoms on Sober House, and now here he is, good as new.
We got DP in the house.
And we got
Pinsky.
Drew's here.
DP.
And we got to get Mike on camera so you guys can see the radiant health I'm beholding.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I can't wait for people to see you. It'd be great.
Yeah, maybe we could. Maybe they could put something together with a little segment.
Listen, I'm going to recommend it in the strongest terms. That
great.
people, I would recommend a reunion thing for you guys, which I was talking to people today about.
Right.
Who knows the VH1, but at least a VH1 News or something where they could chronicle what's going on with you guys. And part of what's going on is a new band. And
we got a couple new bands going.
And one
Whitey Kirst from Iggy Pop, the guitar player. We got me and him and a drummer. And
is that we're going to hear from coming up here, or is that the other?
No, that's not the one we're going to hear from. I'm jamming with Jimmy Deanda, the old drummer for the Bullet Boys. He's a great guy. He's my sponsor.
Oh wow!
He's got 8 years clean.
Congratulations.
So I'm surrounding myself with just sober people. But Jimmy Deanda, I just want to say hello to him. Jimmy, I love you, buddy. And I've got another
buddy
thing.
Mikey Supa, is he around anymore?
Mikey Supa, get over here. He's from New York. Yeah, he's still around.
Good.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
You got a lot of good people around.
He's a guitar player, yeah. And
here, in fact, there's a question for you from Angela about the new band. Here's Angela. She's 20. What's up?
Hey, Angela.
Good evening. Dr. Drew, Mike Starr, obviously two influential icons, Dr. Drew in the psychology field and Mike Starr in the music industry. Huge Alice in Chains fan, and with the reunion of Soundgarden, which is really very exciting for all of us grunge fans, that leads us to wonder if you will ever reconsider or possibly want to reunite with Jerry Cantrell, Sean, and this Alice in Chains. Is that something in the future that may happen? I know that you're doing something amazing right now in terms of your musical career, but is that something that's possible?
Jerry Cantrell and Sean Kinney are my brothers. They will be forever. And I spent 10 years with them, and they will always be my brothers. They will always be in my heart, and I would do anything for them. And so if they ever asked me to play with them, I would definitely play with them.
That's very, very cool and exciting to hear. So other than that, everything's good in terms of your band that you're in right now. Are you planning on going on the road touring soon, or?
I've got a couple projects in the works right now, but yes, that's what I would like to do. That's my passion, and that's what I would like to strive for.
Thanks, Angela. We're going to keep moving on here. Get some more Loveline calls.
Take care, Angela.
John, he was 25.
Yeah, hi. I have a question. Is it okay to block your sperm when you're about to have an orgasm?
By doing what?
Well, basically, you kind of press behind the testicles.
Mm-hmm.
Right before you're about to have an orgasm, you press behind the testicles, and basically you can have a dry orgasm.
Yeah, you're not stopping the sperm from coming out. You're causing it to go up into your bladder so it comes out when you urinate.
Ooh.
Good times. Well done.
Good times.
And it doesn't really accomplish a damn thing, although it can set up a circumstance where you might start having retrograde ejaculation spontaneously. So I wouldn't recommend.
No, I wouldn't.
The thing is that I've been doing this since I was 14, and so it's been, 11 years? And just recently, like every time I do it, well, not every time, but some of the times, it starts burning.
Yeah.
When you pee.
Yeah. Well, it may just be the semen coming out later with the urine. But, yeah, it's not exactly... Your body's not set up to do that, so, of course...
It's not natural, so...
Yeah, you can irritate your urethra with that, I can imagine. Speaking of not natural, Rachel, what's up? You're 19.
Hi. Lent is starting at midnight, and I've decided to give up sex for Lent, but I'm wondering if you consider anal to be sex.
Mike?
Yeah, I do.
But I mean, okay, so my problem is that I don't know, I like having sex, and I feel like I have too much sex. I mean, I'm only 19, and I shouldn't just be thinking about sex all the time, because
sex is
it's limiting me
How long is Lent?
making friendships, relationships, but I want to wean myself off of it, and I don't know, that's what I'm wondering.
How about more oral sex? That way you're not
Guys, they're both called sex. It's oral sex, anal sex.
Yeah, I mean,
sex.
But I mean, why are you refraining from sex?
Can't. I mean, I've started going to university, and these days I just meet guys, and instead of looking at them and saying like, "Oh, it's a nice guy. He has nice hair. We're having good conversation. Maybe we could be friends. Maybe something could happen." I look at them and go, "Ass." Like, I want penis. That's what I think, and it's not good for starting relationships, which is something I should consider doing.
Do you think you're a sex addict?
I don't know. I mean, that's why I'm scared of that. That's why I'm trying to.
Now, Mike, you got to live with a couple of sex addicts in the sober house,
right?
And Jenny, particularly Jenny Ketchum, very serious about her sobriety, and you saw her last night at the
Looks great. Looks great,
and she's radiant and sober and feels great about her life.
Has a monogamous relationship,
and really happy with it.
Yeah.
So, Rachel, there are ways to treat that if indeed it's addiction. If it's when you lose control over a behavior and you can't stop when you want to. That's kind of a question. So I guess one of the follow-up questions would be, do you have the usual sorts of antecedents that set that up? For instance, did you have any kind of sexual abuse as a child?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Did you have any kind of sexual abuse as a child?
Not as a child. I had a kind of like domestic abuse of relationship in high school, but that was, 15. I don't know if you consider that a child.
It's pretty young. Pretty young, and often
young.
And
I
oftentimes,
didn't feel like it was a sexual thing, though. It was more like a physical problem.
And oftentimes, when kids are abused in adolescence, it's sort of as a follow-on to something having happened in childhood, and sort of recreating that or being a good victim as an adolescent. So that's sort of maybe some of the antecedent stuff there a little bit. How often are you having sex?
Probably once or twice a week, which I don't know. That doesn't seem like a lot, but it's usually never the same person.
So how about you give up sex with strangers for Lent? Is that
maybe. Have you ever thought about a monogamous relationship?
I've thought about it. I actually attempted one earlier and got bored with it, and got bored with sex and
the boredom. Okay, so I would suggest you do a little reading on this topic, because the boredom and the feeling that the guy is too clingy, that's called love avoidance. So you're in this sort of sex addiction, love avoidance cycle. So you might want to look at the work of Patrick Carnes and Pia Melody. Just read a little bit about that. Particularly the Carnes stuff, I think, would at this point be relatable for you. And you can see, there's a website, sash.net, sash.net. There are some screening tools you can use on that site to sort of, see if you meet criteria for sexual addiction. And then, read about it and think to yourself what you might want to do about it if you can't get your head around it, can't get a handle on it. Because it's eventually going to be something you're going to have to deal with. Because ultimately, people want to have relationships, they want to settle down, and if you just can't do that, and you want that, it's something to kind of look at.
The original question, Drew, is anal sex sex?
Anal sex, for the record, everybody, show of hands, everybody is anal sex.
Anal sex.
Sadie's no, Sadie's yes. Anderson, yes.
It's called anal sex.
Yeah.
The way she called it, she said anal.
Yeah, sex is not about technicalities. We all know what sex is, okay? You're doing your genitals, you're making contact with clothes off.
Mike, we've had a number of girls call up and say that they're virgins, and they're like 22. They've been having anal sex since they were 14, but they're still technically virgins.
Right. You can have sex in the year.
It's not about technicalities. It's not a technicality.
Do you get that note at the bottom of the screen there about
do you want me to play it now? I want to play it on the way out?
One more call? Or?
I was thinking of playing it on the way out, because it's only, how long is it?
Yeah, it's the Sonic Youth song, and we'll play it on the way out.
Okay, all right, perfect. Wilson, 20. What's up?
Oh, Dr. Drew.
Yes,
love you.
What's up?
I have a question that my friend, she told me about last time I was at work. She said she had sex with her, not her boyfriend, when she was 18. This guy that came out of jail, he was 23. And that he actually stuck marbles inside his penis.
Marbles inside his penis.
That guy called this show.
I want to party with that guy.
Mike's getting an education. I wish you could see Mike shake his head what? like we're hitting him with an electric prod every few minutes.
Drew, you remember this guy though? He called the show.
I want to shake
after he got out of prison.
hand.
Yeah, he's not the only guy.
He had just gotten out of prison, and he put marbles up his penis.
Not the only guy. Not up his penis.
Down his penis. It depends on if you're in Australia.
Under the skin. They put him under the skin.
Right. But it's they're essentially the same.
Yeah,
that's like a snake ate something too big.
Yeah, it's a whole practice. These guys do this.
But it's the guy that just got got out of prison. It's probably
No,
the same guy.
yeah. How many? Listen, if we're going
All
to
right, I
choose
know
the
what
guys likely to put marbles under the skin of their penis, I'd pick the
Everyone
population
listening right now in a
prison.
penitentiary, and there's a lot of you out there. That was Dr. Drew that said that. I did
No,
not
I'm just
say
saying that if I had to pick a group that would be the one that would be more likely to do this kind of thing, that's a good bet. So, yeah, I have heard of this, Wilson. It's not exactly what you call.
It's not under the penis. It's like in the actual penis that they get a toothpick and they roll it inside the head.
I cannot believe I'm hearing this.
Yeah,
That's what totally freaked me out. I'm like,
Yeah,
and
well-
because it hurt as hell.
Yeah, I mean, they only got what they got to work with there in prison, my friend. They got to get those
Yeah.
marbles in somehow.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
They said they could put two, like not just one marble, two marbles. And after, like, can't you tell if there's like something in there? She's like, no, but the sex was really great. That's why they did it.
What are they doing
She
with
said
marbles
that?
in prison to begin with? Why are there marbles in? Did they play marbles in
No,
prison?
it's really like BBs. It's more like, it's not really marbles. It's like, metal balls. And
Glass eyes.
Yeah, because I thought like the actual like the marbles you play with.
No, because the glass.
I'm like, wow, really? And then she was telling me how he caught like he had like I think he had like the ball cancer. I don't know what it's called.
Testicular cancer?
Yeah, because of that, or he had
Nah.
something because of that.
Well, yeah, maybe developed like lead poisoning or something. I don't know, Wilson, what the risks are, but I have heard of guys doing this. Doesn't sound like what you call a healthy activity. And,
No, it doesn't.
what are you going to do? I mean,
I was just amazed, like,
yeah,
really?
yeah. People do listen. You go online and look at the various things. People fillet their penis. They do.
Oh,
or they
my
put
God.
bars through. They do crazy
I thought it
that
was
stuff.
like something like involved like with sounding, you know?
Yeah, sounding. And no, that's actually going down the urethra, where they take a metal bar and send it down the
Oh,
urethra.
that's what I'm saying. He puts it inside the urethra.
No, they don't do that with the marbles. They don't do that. They put them under the skin. So they make them like your own, so your penis is sort of nubbly.
Nubbly?
Yeah, like nubbles.
That's a new one.
Yeah, stubble.
Nubbly.
It's
All right.
lepery, though.
All right, Wilson, thank you
Oily.
for just taking us down this heady path. I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem.
All right, buddy. Take
Have a
care.
good night.
Okay, one last call, then we got to hear the song. So what's up there, Pete?
Hey, how's it going there, Mike?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Hey, you know who this is, right?
Pete, from where?
Pete, your sister's friend. You
Pete, how you doing, Peter?
rehab and you crashed at my house, man.
What's up, Peter? How you doing, buddy?
And Pete, thank you for taking it.
Good. I'm so proud of you, man.
Hey, thanks a lot, Peter. It's good to hear you.
And thank you for taking him in, Pete. That was
really nice of you, man.
Let me tell you.
I know.
Let me tell you, we had choppers around the apartment and everything in West Hollywood there.
I remember that, man.
Why? Why'd you have choppers?
Oh, police were looking for me.
What?
Oh, yeah, all kinds of stuff.
I almost got evicted out of my apartment.
Oh,
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, but-
here's the reason, the living proof why you put yourself out. This is the man.
I really appreciate everything, Peter.
I love you and I miss you, man. I haven't talked to you since all that stuff went down, but I'm so proud of you, dude. Your sister is so proud of you, too.
How you been doing? You been doing all right?
Yeah, I've been doing
Good.
good. I've been doing good.
Good deal.
All right,
Good.
Pete, hold on. We're going to hear some music from his new band.
Pete,
okay?
listen to this new song, Pete.
You all right?
All right, cool, buddy.
What happened that night? Something I didn't know about?
Oh, just cops were choppers around
This was
the house.
during Sober House?
On the break between Sober House or between Celebrity Rehab and Sober House.
I didn't even know about this. Well
Oh,
done.
it was crazy.
Did the choppers
Something
get
you did?
No, choppers. I don't know.
You don't
I
remember.
take the fifth.
Yes, remember.
I'll take the fifth on that.
Yeah. Yes, so what happened, Mike? Tell us on the radio in front of everybody. What happened?
Yeah, right.
Why'd you call the police out?
Yeah.
Okay, so Mike Starr, Alice in Chains bass player. Is this the music?
Yeah.
Let's hear the new song right now. Take us out to it.
Let's go.
Kool Thing is the name of the song.
Kool Thing.
Radio DJ.
Sitting with a kid, now you know you're sure looking pretty. Wait, hold on.
We're back with Mike Starr. He wants to explain a little something about that song you just heard going out to commercial break. Oh, there's your microphone. We threw his microphone away. There we go.
Yeah, there's supposed to be a lot more vocals in the middle of it, and that's why it sounded a little plain. But we just that was our first day of recording. We got that much done in one day, so we're not done with the song yet. And so that's why it sounded a little plain in the middle. There's going to be a lot more words in the middle.
Well, Mike Starr is doing great, obviously. He is thriving in his career. He is looking healthy. He is sober. Look at lovelineshow.com. The video will be up tomorrow. I suggest you take a look at how great he looks. He speaks for itself. The picture, as they say, speaks for itself. Mike, we're going to wrap it up and down here a little bit with Anderson. He's going to tell us what we just did, right? You're staring at something intently.
I know, because I'm behind as usual. I'm trying to get that thing that I play at the end queued up because I was just in there shooting video. It's like, my God, I have a lot of hats on right now, Drew. A lot of hats. Anyways, here we go.
Well, I really had a good time tonight.
Mike, one of the nicest people ever, Drew. Ever.
I know. He said that. I told Mike. He said that to Lisa D'Amato and Mike Starr.
It's true.
Well done. We'll get them both back. Let's get them back here together in a couple weeks.
Thank God you helped them, because nice people are being ruined by drugs.
Right?
I gotta say.
Well, let me just say. By the way, that's what has me motivates me to do my job. This is how Mike Starr is.
Dr. Drew will not take this compliment. I know that, but I'm going to say it anyways. Dr. Drew helped save my life. I helped save my life too, but Dr. Drew helped. Well,
see, Drew, you helped some. I told you helped at least one
person.
It was a
big inspiration in me wanting to be sober.
And you're an inspiration. It's a pleasure. You hung in through some amazing stuff. But when people always ask me, addicts relapse so much, why do you do this? I give you Exhibit A, Mike Starr. That's why I do this. So there you go.
All right, so what do we got? Too sad before we get.
All right, what's up?
23 calls total, 9 guys, 14 girls. Feels like we've been gone forever, Drew, so it was good to get back in the saddle. We started off with the riveting HPV call before Mike even got here. Mike, you missed nothing there. Then we had 3 relationship calls, and then we had the long-distance fat guy relationship call. Then we had the smelly vagina call. Followed that up with the boyfriend who had blood on him after their rough sex. Yeah. I still think that might have been a miscarriage, but I didn't say so at the time. Torn penis. Poor kid's 14. He has to lay off for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 3 sex calls, of course, the obligatory squirter call that we get every night. The guy that has sex and his balls retreat up inside of him, and Drew got to talk about cream hysteris and whatnot. The girl with the boyfriend, they've had sex once, and he has an extraordinarily small, tiny wiener, she says. Lisa D'Amato called up to talk about how...
she has a foot fetish.
Yeah, she's trying to get you to say you had a foot fetish, I think, but she pretty much just said that she had athlete's foot up her cooter, is the way she put it.
Cooter, yeah.
5 calls from Mike. 5 separate calls from Mike. We had the man milker. Milk comes out of the man's nipple. We had the sister afro, of course. That was a great call. The guy was banging his sister. Fantastic.
That was awful.
The girl who wants to give up anal for Lent. And then we ended with the marble in the penis.
Mike, thank you. And also remind people about Tom Arnold's new Recover Bud app, where you can find out meetings near your locale.
Recover your bud.
Recover Bud. Check that out. iPhone, other modalities as well.
Godspeed, NASCAR.
Godspeed tomorrow. Mike Starr. See you soon, buddy.
Dr. Drew, thank you for having me.
Bye.